Have you ever seen anything from the corner of your eye that wasn't there when you looked again? How about hearing from a friend of a friend that while they were hiking somewhere, they thought they saw something impossible? But when they spoke to a ranger, there was always a simple explanation that left you unsatisfied. My name is Jack, and this is my colleague Chris, and we are the senior wardens for the Creature Conservation Initiative. We protect the world from the creatures of superstition and myth, but more importantly, protect those same creatures from the world. Hello there, people. How are you doing? How is your day going? How's your week going? How is your heat wave going? Because it's going to be a heat wave by now. And Chris, how are you doing? And where will you be going?
Oh, I'm absolutely miserable. I am sweaty. I am melting. I've narrowly escaped the chef who confused me with a lobster because I'm sunburned to hell. And I am very close to actually dying. But, yeah, other than that, I'm doing horrible.
British listeners are going to just say, well, isn't that just the German angry, upset, and
yes,
hating life?
That's pretty much it, yeah. But also, I'm hot.
So you, I like that.
In the temperature sense, at least.
No comment. But
you want
anyway.
me, I know that.
Yeah, to fall out of building. Disclaimer, I don't want Chris to fall out of building if he falls out of building in the next few weeks. That was a joke.
Of course.
Of course, and that's what I'll tell the court.
Yeah, but anyway, what are you doing except for planning murder?
I've been having a god-awful week, frankly, based on the creature that we're going to be talking about today.
Okay.
I'm going to say your week has probably been better than mine because mine has involved spiders, basically.
Yeah, that does sound pretty bad. I'm not exactly... I don't envy you.
No, I don't think many people would. And I mean, don't get me wrong, I know that a lot of our listeners are probably going to be sitting there going, spiders, but spiders, Jack, they're just spiders. They're not that bad. You live in the UK, they're very, very docile creatures. They're not going to kill you. If you're in Australia, maybe. But I can tell you, don't forget, as wardens, we travel the world.
We see the special spiders.
Oh, yes. I mean, you remember the creature that Chris talked about last time, the ox-headed spider.
That's a lovely one. The good thing is you don't have to worry whether it's venomous because it's just going to bite your head off.
Well, I'm going to tell you today about a completely different spider. That, again, as pure coincidence, this was a creature that was suggested within the Discord. So, whoever suggested that, thank you very much for manifesting that I would interact with this creature.
I see you're prepared wonderfully.
Always. I'm ready to give credit where credit is due to people every single time. Thank you, Discord person.
We are professionals. Asterisk may or may not be professionals.
I've had a harrowing week, okay?
Yeah. I get it. Tell me more about the spider thing. Do I have to listen? I don't really want to hear a lot about enormous spiders, so...
Yes, you do, because you have to ask questions. That's how this works. You this week get to be the surrogate audience insert.
I thought you could just do a solo episode. Isn't that what AI is for? I thought it's going to replace us all. So might as well start now.
Well, it hasn't replaced you yet.
Not yet. I can try. Just let ChatGPT hop in on the call.
Well, we have seen an uptick in audience recently, so who knows? Yeah. As we've already discussed, maybe it's bots, and maybe ChatGPT is already trying to replace us.
Probably.
Who knows?
You're absolutely right.
Yes, dear listener, if you do hear a Blinking Your Mythic clone, let us know so we can sue. We'd like to be rich.
Oh, yeah. Just imagine not having to do this stupid job anymore.
Oh, you love it.
As long as there are no spiders involved.
Well, anyway, let's talk about spiders. So, this
must.
week's creature, we very much do. This week's creature is a creature that is known as the Jorogumo.
Okay.
I'm sure that I'm probably saying that slightly wrong because one of the O's in this name has a weird thing over the top of it.
I'm pretty sure you're saying it horribly wrong.
Yeah, but hey, I'm English. We do that.
True. Colonize away, my friend.
I will colonize these words. But yeah, so this creature is a Japanese yokai of legend. Its name translates into many different things. One of them is the Entangling Bride, or the Binding Bride.
Okay.
Or one of my favorite names for it, the Horse Spider.
One of these is not like the others. But I like it. I'm suddenly very intrigued.
So this is essentially a very, very, very big spider, but it is also a shapeshifter.
Is it a sexy spider, Lord of the Rings style, in the game at least?
Oh, you're talking about like
Shadow of War or something.
Shadow of War, that's the one, not War of the Ring. Yeah, I know which one you're on about.
Yeah.
Yes and no. But for a moment I thought you were talking like proper Lord of the Rings, as in like the original trilogy and the big spider Shelob, and I was about to ask, what is wrong with you?
You know, people tell me I have to be less picky, so
yeah, but try to keep it in the species. But anyway, yeah, so it's essentially a very, very large spider. It starts off its life as a golden orb weaver spider.
Okay.
So just a normal spider. But when it reaches the age of 400 years old, it goes through transformation, and it basically turns into a yokai that has the ability to transform into a human being, in which time it's also grown, it's become like a massive spider. So essentially it goes from like a 2 centimeter sized little creature all the way up to, some reports have said it's up to 2 meters in size.
That is one heck of a larval stage. I mean, 400 years is nothing to sneeze at. You probably shouldn't sneeze at most things, but
yeah. Well, when we talk about some of these creatures and some of these spirits, we are talking about things that do have exponentially long lifespans.
Yeah, that's
So
true.
400 years, maybe a long time, may not be. I genuinely don't know. It has the ability to shapeshift from a very, very large spider into usually what is supposed to be a very young, very attractive woman.
Okay.
To try and entice prey. Because the thing that happens when it goes from being this kind of just normal spider to a yokai is that it undergoes a change not only in size, but also in intelligence, not only in its magic, but also in its prey. It goes from insects to humans. Yeah. And this is where it gets quite dangerous for this creature. Well, for anyone who encounters this creature at the very least.
I was going to say. Dangerous for the creature because everyone is armed with anti-insect spray, insecticide.
Quickly, get the raid. No, what I mean is that this creature suddenly changes its level of intelligence to the point where it doesn't see people as some kind of threat or even some kind of concern. It just sees people as prey. Nothing but prey.
I mean, I'm gonna guess that mostly has to do with the change in size. A golden orb weaver, as horrible as it is probably not gonna be able to eat me. So once it gets huge,
well, the Jorogumo version of it definitely can. Trust me.
Okay, I don't want to know more.
Well, sucks to be you then.
Yes, always.
These are all over Japan except for the northern island of Hokkaido. I don't know why they're not in Hokkaido, but they just aren't. They like to live in caves and forests. However, it has also been reported that they like to live in empty houses in the middle of towns as well.
Makes sense.
And I'm going to guess that's a population center thing because obviously it's close to more prey.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, what is an abandoned house if not a rectangular cave?
A cave. So they like to live very solitary lives, both when they're in their kind of spider form and as humans, as the shape-shifting lady that they tend to be.
Maybe I could change that.
Leave it alone. You could probably guess how it tends to hunt. In fact, have a guess. How do you think it hunts?
I mean, most of these things just lure men into a dark corner by being a pretty lady and then, go to town. It's gonna be my guess.
Yeah, basically. They have a preference for people who are very lonely, so don't go to Japan. But they also have a preference for people who are, let's say, looking for ladies of the night, shall we say. Basically, they just go for the easy prey. Whoever they can, entice, they will go for. Exactly. Yeah. That's part of the name.
Yeah.
There have also been reports of them luring people in by playing very melodic music on something called a biwa or a baiwa.
Okay.
I'm not sure how you pronounce it, but basically it does everything it can to be noticed by solitary individuals and then try to entice them into its lair in its cave, where when you get there, you get wrapped up, or at least your legs get wrapped up initially
kinky.
In an incredibly oh damn it. Your legs get wrapped up in an incredibly strong web that's very, very hard to break.
Yeah.
And then it basically does the spider thing where it has a venom that will sap you of energy over a period of a few days. Incredibly painful. It will kill you, but it will not kill you immediately because, like I've already said, this creature is known to be cruel. It is not. I mean, we're making jokes here and there. We're obviously having a bit of a laugh, but it is known to have zero love for its prey, zero interest in looking after its prey. I can promise you can't on this one. It delights in watching its prey die over a period of days. And when people have found these creatures' lairs, what they have found is not some kind of nice and clean kind of room where you wouldn't be able to tell anything. No, you find desiccated corpses and skeletons just littering the entire place. These things appear to be able to just operate in towns, in caves, in forests, indefinitely, and they are very hard to see because they do take people who are just hardly ever noticed by society. That is their favored prey. They are intelligent. They know what they're doing.
I really shouldn't go to Japan.
Don't worry, Chris. I mean, I'm sure the CCI would miss you in about 2 weeks.
That's pretty optimistic, but sure.
Well, after you hadn't responded to a couple of jobs, they'd start wondering.
Once I missed recording of an episode. Yeah, but are these horse spiders? Are they intelligent? Can you try to convince them not to kill you?
Well, they are intelligent. They do communicate.
Okay.
Some stories out there have them communicating with people. Like, there's a normal stories of there was a waterfall where people would go missing, and over time, someone went in there, found desiccated corpses, ran away, made a legend. There's also some stories around like a woodcutter who went to, again, a waterfall. A lot of these stories like to be around waterfalls. I'm not doing this. But he liked to go around waterfalls and things. And
who doesn't?
He met a very, very beautiful girl, the spider, basically.
Oh, really?
And he would he would keep going back every single day, and just every time he'd come back to his village, He would be weaker and weaker and weaker over time. You know, these people would just die or disappear off or just never be seen again. The one thing I will say is that none of these stories or none of the information I found says that the Jorogumo engages in anything carnal with anyone.
Okay.
It literally just uses it as kind of what you said last week. It's like the anglerfish.
Yeah.
It dangles it in front of you. You get too close, and the jaws close, and it eats you.
Sounds fun.
The other part to this creature that's absolutely terrifying is that it appears to have the ability to control spiders around it.
Great.
And it even has the ability to control fire-breathing spiders.
What? I'm sorry, what?
Yep. I had no idea that these things ever existed.
That seems like a whole different episode.
I know, but I looked into this even deeper, and it just seems to be these fire-breathing spiders, like normal-sized fire-breathing spiders.
Everyone knows the fire-breathing spiders.
Well, they just appear to be something connected only to this creature. They don't seem to be a creature by themselves. It's almost like it spawns them. But again, nothing has ever said it spawns these creatures or anything like that. It just says it has the ability to control fire-breathing spiders.
I like this less and less as we go on.
It tends to go for prey that, like I say, people won't notice it disappearing. It has been known, especially the ones that live in towns and cities, they have been known that if someone is investigating the creature, if someone is asking questions, if someone suspects something, even if they're not necessarily this, but if someone suspects something, they have been known to send and control their fire-breathing spiders and things to go burn the person's home.
Ooh, that's mean. Also, it sounds like it might be related to the second half of this episode.
Potentially. The thing about this creature is, like I say, I cannot understate how much it has no love for people.
I thought you were going to say like no chill.
Well, it also has no chill, basically. But it's a case of this creature is just, we are food to it.
I mean, that sounds like more than we are food to it. It sounds like it's actively like, it's just being horrible to people.
Yeah, it just doesn't see any value in human life. Like that's what the stories say. That's what the legends say. It has
a billionaire spider.
No value for human life. And and the more annoying thing about it is all of this is true. None of this, none of the legend that I've come across is anything different to what I've experienced, basically.
I've been to Japan, and it seems like this is something they should warn me about, but they haven't, so I'm gonna have to think about that.
To be perfectly honest, I don't know why the CCI don't tell us about these things, because I didn't know about it until I interacted with it. Because just as a final bit of aside before we get into the story, there are only a few ways in which you can escape this. Number one is that
run very fast. Oh, okay.
You can't outrun it, I can tell you that.
Okay.
You got to be able to cut its web so that it can mistake the web, like whatever it's caught in the web. So normally in the stories, it's basically like a big, heavy log stump.
Yeah.
So that that gets dragged off with the spider rather than you. Or there have been quite a lot of reports about if you cover yourself in kind of like pungent scents that spiders are reportedly not fans of, like mint and those kinds of things, you can repel it. It doesn't want to come near you. Ooh. So it keeps some of those former spider sensors.
Okay.
The only other way in which you can basically win in this is you have to kill it. But that is a easier said.
Use our sponsor NordVPN, which makes the web safe. God, I wish we were sponsored.
Oh, so do I. Especially for that one. That would have been funny.
Yeah. Sorry, go on.
There are only two ways in which to kill it. You've got to pierce the abdomen, or you have to burn it.
I mean, again, as with many of these secret creature killing techniques, that seems like it would work on pretty much anything.
Yeah. But what it means is that you can't, if you pierced it through like the head, it doesn't make a difference.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
You've got to get the abdomen. Why? don't know. We've not really been able to interact with them in a way to conduct this kind of research. More or less, when a warden has come across a Jorogumo, yeah, it's either the warden or the Jorogumo. One of them's coming out alive and one's dying. That's basically it. Which leads me quite swiftly onto my story.
Yes, tell me more.
I went to actually go visit one of our other wardens who is out in Japan. I'm not going to tell you which town or city or even village because I'm not directing anyone to the site of this. I was literally just doing a supplies run for them. I've had a bit of a quiet couple of weeks since my last kind of episode. They've been letting me kind of decompress a little bit, relax. So...
And then they send you to the murder spider.
Maybe this is why they were giving me a couple of weeks to relax.
Yeah, probably.
But they just had me delivering off some supplies, just various toys from the CCI that they need down there. And, documents, those kinds of things. I was just escorting over to a CCI safe house over in Japan.
Sure.
So I went over there and I met up with the wardens who were running the safe house over in Japan. And while I was there, just dropping things off, getting them to sign things, I was just chatting with them, see what they've been up to. Have they come across anything interesting recently?
No.
Anything that I can help with, because I was a senior warden in the room.
Come across anything interesting? Or, just the usual fire-breathing spiders. The horse spiders. The killer spiders. The ox spiders. Why do they have so many weird spiders?
I don't know. Maybe it's a cultural thing. They directed me to go and speak with one of their more senior wardens over there, and because he was dealing with a bit of a mystery that the local police had kind of brought him in on. And while we were there, he was chatting away, and he was explaining what he'd found. Like, some people were going missing, some things were kind of weirdly happening, large numbers of spiders kind of in the area. As in like in their homes and things, for whatever reason. What they were also finding was the occasional very kind of essentially desiccated corpse of someone in town who would, when they'd done their DNA checks and things like that, it would match with one of the missing people from quite a while ago. And they were getting very concerned about this. So the local police brought in a CCI warden, and they were getting a bit stuck. They weren't sure what was going on or anything like that. Mm-hmm. So he'd been working on this for about 2 weeks at this point, and just couldn't come up with an answer. So he said, would I be able to help? And I thought, you know what, I've got a couple of days here before my flight back.
Of course, so the enlightened Brit has to come along to help the helpless, nameless.
No, the experienced warden.
Yeah.
For God's sakes. I accompanied him to some of the crime scenes, and when the police went, who the hell's he? Because obviously, weirdly enough, I don't look very native. I basically passed myself off as like Interpol, that kind of stuff. Very easy.
Do you use a trench coat?
So, no, I don't wear a trench coat. You're the only one who wears a trench coat.
No wonder everyone asks you who you are. You gotta make it obvious. You're the Columbo.
But yeah, so I'm just going around having a look at the crime scenes and things, just trying to get a feeling. And frankly, I will tell you, dear listener, I did not know this creature. I was not aware of this creature at all in the slightest. So I was looking at all this kind of going, that looks a bit weird. But what I was noting was a few bits of bed frames and things like that had a bit of like scorch marks and things on it. Just going, that's a bit strange. It's almost like someone has kind of just lit a kind of match near the bed frame and just let it slightly burn it. Things like that. Really kind of innocuous things, really. But they seemed weird to me. So pointed it out, and the warden I was working with, he did kind of point out, we haven't noticed this before. Like, what's going on here? And, he kind of, at the end of the day, after we'd gone to a few of these places, and we'd spotted things like, as I say, webbing lying around in places, yeah, so we'd gone through, and at the end of the day, he just kind of went to me. Basically, I've got a few ideas. I'm going to look into them a little bit further. Can you come back tomorrow? Like, yeah, of course. Go through a few of these things. Because at this point, I was kind of interested in this case. Weird creature. It's not something I've come across before. This one, so I was intrigued.
Yeah.
Went back to my hotel, had something to eat, relaxing a little bit, doing a little bit of research, sending some messages to and from the headquarters, going if anyone in the research department's got any ideas. And probably about 1 o'clock in the morning, I get a phone call from one of the other wardens, and apparently the warden I've been working with, his home has been set on fire.
Oh, that's not good.
It's basically the fire alarms that we have in the headquarters to monitor wardens, dwellings and things, because we are more likely to get ourselves set on fire or attacked in some way by some of these supernatural creatures.
Yeah, fun to think about.
Isn't it? Yeah, that was going off, and it was a bit of like an all hands on deck kind of situation. They knew I was not far away from him. If anything, I was closer in my hotel room to his home than they were at the headquarters.
Yeah.
I, stocked up, and normally I wouldn't, but this time I thought, you know what, I am actually going to come armed. I'm going to take a
Gotta fight fire with guns
with me. Yeah, that's how the fire departments work.
Yeah.
They shoot the fire.
Stop resisting.
No. I approached the place. I had a sidearm on me, and I approached the place. Yeah. I actually also brought essentially like a knife with me as well. Keep those kind of well hidden in my jacket and things like that, because Japan is a very peaceful place. I don't want to cause any problems, and I've only brought this with me because I'm a little bit concerned about the situation. With experience, you get that kind of the hairs on the back of your neck kind of stand up. That kind of thing.
After years of experience, you learn that fire is bad.
No, fire is bad, for God's sake. You learn a case is bad, for God's sakes. No wonder you're almost dying all the time. You've got no survival instincts, man.
It's true.
Anyway, so when I get there, his house is really ablaze. However, he is outside. He's managed to escape the house, and he looks, he looks tired, but
and covered in spiders.
He's not covered in spiders, but he's alive and everything. So I go and I'm starting to have a bit of a conversation with him, but then I realise as I'm having this conversation with him, he is really tired, like drained, kind of tired. And while I'm kind of chatting away with him, he seems a bit dizzy, a bit out of it. And, I'm just kind of looking around, observing him over. And what I note is that he does have a pair of bite marks on his shoulder. It's pretty much covered by his shirt, but as he was just kind of shifting and moving around a little bit, the collar of his shirt just shifted just enough that I could see a single bite mark. And when I pulled the collar just a little bit over to the side, I could see a pair of mandible-like bite marks.
Yeah.
And so I'm kind of getting a little bit more concerned here. I've basically turned to the local police who have turned up and just gone, like, here I am, lie. I'm someone special, you should listen to me. And basically, I've got
I've
them
been trying that all my life. Nobody does.
But I got them to just kind of protect him. Just go, like, get him there. There'll be some people coming soon. Tell them, point out the bite marks. They will get him to a special hospital. I think he might have been bit by something venomous. Basically giving them the whole thing to kind of look after him.
No.
I was convinced that he was probably going to die in the next few hours. Knowing what I do now,
always the optimist.
He's obviously been bitten by the creature.
Yeah.
And it's going to take days. But luckily, we do have counter venoms, anti-venoms, those kinds of things.
Yeah.
We're able to treat them if we know about it. As I'm kind of handing him over to the police, I'm doing further investigations, looking around, and I do again note kind of like a big stump in his back garden that appears to be it's still stuck in the ground, but it appears to be covered in webbing, and that webbing kind of leads off into some back alleys and things like that.
Yeah.
It's really, really fine stuff. It was mostly when I was like flashing my torch over the kind of area, because there's a lot of glare coming from the fire of his house. But I just happened to see it, and so I start following this. And as I'm walking down this alleyway and things, I get probably about like 100 meters away from his property, and there's a rather kind of dark, shabby looking building, and kind of going, and the webbing is disappearing inside that building. So
Good
at that
sign.
point, I quickly, yeah, exactly. I radio into the other wardens, just going, "This is my location. This is what I'm finding. Going to investigate further." So draw my sidearm, and make sure that my knife is very easily accessible in its holster, and start moving towards the building. And as I get towards the doorway to go in, it suddenly opens, and there is a very young, very attractive Japanese lady standing in the doorway.
Not too young, I hope.
Well, luckily it's not a problem, because I didn't fall for it.
Good.
God damn it. So she starts kind of going, what's going on? How is, what's happening? Why am I hearing so many noise? Who are you?
That's
Can
when
I
you
help
shot her in the
you?
chest 12 times.
No, 13.
Okay.
No, it was, to be perfectly honest, I will say, very, very convincing to begin with. It is a very, very convincing kind of shapeshift look.
Okay.
And it is a very, attractive proposition. This was, like I say, a young Japanese lady who was speaking perfect English to me.
Nothing suspicious about that.
I was already suspicious because I'd been following a web. I'm a warden of the CCI, and I'm on a case, and I also know what a shapeshifter is.
Yeah.
Is basically it. So I just kind of respond going, "Oh, there's been a fire. We think someone set the fire. Have you seen anything?"
Should I have seen anything?
Basically, that's kind of how the conversation was going. Should I have seen anything? I don't know. Should you? Well, maybe I might know something. Well, maybe you do know something. Well, if I do know something, it might be inside my home here, where I can show you what I know.
Yes. Why don't you come
really?
inside and look at my notes?
Basically, that's what it was kind of boiling down to. So I just thought, okay, well, I don't know what's going on here. And I like being bait.
You give it a different name, but that doesn't sound so different to what I would do.
Well, the difference is I wasn't fooled.
Damn it. Got me.
Yeah, so essentially this nice Japanese lady invited me into what was apparently her home, this very run-down looking building. Thought, this is a load of rubbish. And I followed her inside the building.
Sorry, I didn't have time to clean up. Just excuse the corpses.
Well, as I enter the building, I come in through the porch door, go in, and go through the second door. And yes, as I walk into the building, the stench hits me. The smell of decaying corpses and
the smell of jerky
smells and stinks. Basically, yeah. None of this was nice, and I have to say, damn, they move quickly.
Really?
I mean, they are a spider, so basically, in the time it took me to walk through the door and turn around, they had changed into the spider, which I'm going to tell you, people, wouldn't quite call myself an arachnophobe. Not a fan of spiders, though. Really, really, really don't like them. Especially don't like the spindly fast ones. And guess what? It's a spindly fast one.
Ugh.
And it is lunging at me.
Nope.
Knocks me over.
Nope.
I was wearing proper warden's gear, so, jacket is reinforced. It does help protect you a little bit. Don't get me wrong, it's not going to be stopping, determined repeated thrusts of a bladed weapon or something. But it's enough that I can use it. I can basically put my arm up to try and protect myself. And Yeah, well, I can add one other thing to something that kills the Jorogumo.
Okay. What is that?
A full magazine from a sidearm into the abdomen.
I mean, technically, that's piercing the abdomen, I guess.
Oh, yes. I basically put my arm up to try to prevent the mandibles from being able to bite into me and inject me with any kind of venom, and lowered the sidearm to somewhere where I could shoot at it, which just happened to be the abdomen. And I kept pulling the trigger until all I could hear was a click. That was a lot of rounds.
Sounds like a reasonable thing to do in this situation.
I will say, unfortunately, though, it did manage to pierce my arm. So I did get injected with some venom.
Ugh.
Holy
Was at least a
crap.
good high?
No, it's incredibly painful. It's like having the flu, is
Okay.
how I would put it.
Ooh,
It just makes you feel so weak.
sounds like the man flu.
Everything about like how you move just feels uncomfortable. Yeah, I can see how it's easy for it to be missed,
Yeah.
if that makes sense. Luckily, I'd already phoned in to the other wardens. They knew where I was, and about 10 minutes later, some more wardens come in. They find me with a massive 1.5 to 2 meter size spider laying on top of me. I'm kind of groaning, going, why does everything hurt so much?
Oh god.
And
And
they get the spider off me. They call in a cleanup unit, and they get me off to a CCI hospital.
I can
And
only imagine the amount of spider goo coming out of the holes.
I didn't really want to look, and I was a little bit delirious by this point.
Fair enough.
I was very tired and just wanted to die. So, yeah, they got me to a hospital. They treated me. Turns out the antivenoms we've got are very effective for this kind of thing.
Mhm.
But that is where one of the research team came over, asked me a bunch of questions, and explained to me that what I basically was fighting was a Jorogumo.
Well,
And that I was kind of quite lucky to have lived through it.
yeah. There's probably the only thing worse than trying to surprise a shape-shifting ambush predator is not knowing that it's an ambush predator.
It certainly has given me pause for thought this week to go, is the bait move a good idea?
No, I've told you this before. You have to stop.
I would disagree. I've been quite effective as bait, and I've managed to survive bait for me has worked 100% of the time.
I mean,
But
it's
yes.
hard to argue with that.
Yeah, like, it's one of those creatures that we don't contain. Unfortunately, we find it, and it's an eliminate and exterminate kind of thing. We don't. It's so much of a shame. It's dangerous. I mean, the research guys are still cleaning out that lair, and I think they're somewhere in the region of 60 bodies already.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like it really wants to have any talks or negotiations. So
No, there is just no working with it.
yeah. Sometimes
It's dangerous.
Sometimes
and
that
we have
happens.
to eliminate it.
Yeah.
That's the Jorogumo. But Chris,
Yes.
what is a place that is dangerous and our listeners should eliminate it as soon as possible?
I'm not sure that's a good thing, but you should probably eliminate the football championship. But when you're done with that, you could flee from the US and join our Discord, where you find refuge and can talk to other people about our show, because there are people there. We guarantee that almost, and you can. You can talk about
if
episodes
you join,
we
there
have
are
done.
more people there.
Exactly. You can talk about episodes we've done, about episodes you want us to do, because between Jack and I, we have been doing this for a while, and chances are we have met what you are curious about and can tell you about it. So just hit the link in the episode description and join our neat social web. And I don't know, some spider reference, but while
Get
you're
stuck in it like a stump.
No, that sounds horrible. But yeah, while you're while they're spidering around, Jack, what else could they be doing?
Well, they should crawl along the walls like Spider-Man, the amazing friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, and they should crawl all the way over to their podcasting app of choice, or even YouTube, where they can listen to more episodes.
What a great idea!
As Chris has said, we have done quite a few episodes now. We are
a million.
Something. We're not far away from 70 episodes at this point. And
rounded up, that's a million.
Rounded up, that's a million.
When you round to the nearest million.
That would still be 0.
No, I round up to the nearest million. The math works.
Okay, fair enough.
Believe me.
I'll let you off. But yes, so there is bound to be a creature that you would love to learn about, hear about, and get your teeth stuck into. So you don't have to listen to any of them.
Get their teeth stuck in you.
You don't have to listen to them all in order. They are all evergreen. Just pick a creature that you would like to.
You have to listen to them all, though. It's just the order is important.
You do have to listen to them all. It's just, the order doesn't make any difference.
Yeah.
Although I would say some of our early ones, they're a bit rough. The editing wasn't as good. But anyway.
All the people.
The guests on the show were awful.
Yeah.
And if you want to go for something a bit more visual, Chris spent a long time creating a wonderful set of visuals that are up on YouTube. And they look great. So, go over there, check it out.
Spent absolutely no time.
At the same time, go and like the podcast, subscribe to the podcast, fall for it, get involved, get really, really deep into it.
Yes.
Anything you need to just make sure that we appear in your inbox every 2 weeks and you will not miss an episode. Rate us, give us stars, thumbs up, whatever your podcasting app of choice requires of you, because number one, you just know you want to.
Yeah.
And number two, it helps us out immensely.
Exactly. You don't need those thumbs anyway, so might as well give them to us.
Exactly. In the meantime, don't forget to share it with your friends, your family, your lovers, your ex-lovers, your future lovers, that child that you just happen to come across in the park.
Yeah.
The
shadow men in the corner.
Exactly, the shadow men in the corner. Don't worry, one day we'll tell you what they are.
You wish we didn't, but we will.
We will. But just share with everyone you know.
Yes.
But, unless there's anything else, Chris, I think that is pretty much the end of the episode. So thank you very much for listening, and we will see you next time. Goodbye.
Goodbye.